Howdy, folks. So this video is going to be a quick rundown, as quick as I can make it, of a couple of resources that you have at your disposal to help you create accurate citations that's going to provide me and any of your other readers in the future for accurate information about where your sources are coming from. So let's just start with Purdue Owl. And this is it stands for Purdue Online Writing Lab. I do have this linked on your Google Classroom, so you can check it out. But basically, this is the MLA citation go-to resource. So it's curated by Purdue University, and you can see along the left side here, it has all of the information that you would ever really need to use to cite any source in MLA format. So you can check out like the formatting and stylistic guide, where it's going to walk you through some of the stuff that I talked through in your in the last video. It also has like great examples. So for example, if I'm going to take a look at electronic sources, because that's a lot of what you're going to be using, it has examples of what things look like. So websites, ebooks, images online, article in a web magazine. So any of these is going to be a great kind of model for you to go off of on your own resources. Second one that you could use is Google Docs. Actually has a really wonderful citation tool. So I've created a new document and I've just titled it Research Sources. So maybe this is part of what I use when I'm taking notes on while doing my research project. I'm going to go to Tools and I'm going to go to Citations. So again, Tools and Citations, and that brings up this little box over here. We are working in MLA 8th edition, and all I need to do to create a new source that I'm going to use in my paper is click that Add Citation Source. And probably not going to use a ton of books, but I'm going to say I'm going to cite a website here. And I've got a website already pulled up, and it's going to be this one right here. This Does Music Help with Studying? And what I can do is punch in that URL, copy and paste it, click search. It's going to find this information, and I'm just going to click continue because it didn't quite find everything, right? Found the website title, found the URL, the date published, the date we accessed it. But remember, anytime we use one of these programs that helps us create citations, it's not going to be perfect because it's just a computer program scanning a web page, looking for something that it thinks is the publisher or the author, things like that. So a lot of times I'm going to have to double check these and finish creating them. So we definitely do have an author, right? It's written by Crystal Ray Pohl. So let's punch that in here. Ray Pohl. And it also has a contributor. So it says medically reviewed by this guy. And I think that's important to include as well. So I'm going to add that, Alex Klein. If there's anything else in there, I would love to get the publisher in there. My guess is that this publisher is just going to be Healthline. Oh, and of course, it's got to scroll forever. So I might need to go to their homepage, take a look. It's a lot of times Healthline Media. So copyright. So anytime you can't find the publisher, usually if you head to their homepage and scroll down to the bottom, it's whoever has the copyright on that information. That's like whoever owns it. So I'm going to paste that in there too. And everything else looks pretty good. And I'm just going to click that Add Citation Source. Bam. And that has added that to this document. And the nice thing is once I get all of my citations in there, I can just click this Insert Works Cited button, and it creates it and formats it for me automatically. I don't have to worry about putting things in alphabetical order. I don't have to worry about my hanging indents. Google's going to do that all for me, this is the one that I would really recommend that you use. The other one you could use is Citation Machine or EasyBib. It's just like a simple Google search. So if you cite MLA Citation Creator, it's going to come up with something like this. So citationmachine.net, Scribr, EasyBib, those are all fine. Just the same issues persist of you have to double check this and kind of validate this information manually. You can't just assume that it's going to get it right every time because a lot of times it misses information. And the last thing that you can use is if you're using those research databases, so the resources that I have posted up on some of my research resources page, which we'll get into a little bit later. But when you use those research databases, a lot of times they'll create the citation information for you. So for example, I'm just going to pick a random article here. So say I'm researching mandatory vaccines. That's what my research project is about. Should we or shouldn't we? So it's got great information, but it also has this cite button. So I can just click that, copy it, and then punch it in here. Ta-da! There we go. Now my full citation is complete. I don't have to work too hard for that. I might need to do a little bit of cleaning up because this is garbage text. But there we go. All right, folks. So those are some of the resources that you can have. If you have any questions, be sure to ask me. Citation creation is hard, but it's also really, really important to add credibility to your own writing. So good luck, folks.